In this video, we uncover the lives of men and women whose success and influence stretched far beyond their lifetimes. Their names echo across centuries, their ideas still shape nations, and their legacies remind us that greatness often begins with vision and courage. If you're passionate about learning, make sure to hit subscribe and join our growing community of curious thinkers. Let us travel back to the ancient world, where some of the first giants of human history laid the foundations of power, philosophy, and civilization itself. We begin with a young man who rose faster than anyone before him, Alexander the Great. Born in 356 BC, he was not destined to live long, but he was destined to live greatly. Tutored by Aristotle himself, Alexander developed a hunger for knowledge and conquest. By the age of 20, he became king of Macedonia, and within just a decade, he had conquered Persia, Egypt, and extended his empire as far as India. Imagine this: a man not yet 30 years old, yet ruling one of the largest empires the world had ever seen. His soldiers followed him not only because of his power, but because of his charisma. He shared their hardships, fought beside them, and inspired loyalty through action. Though he died at just 32, his vision of a world connected by culture and ideas would outlive him, shaping civilizations for centuries. From Alexander's battlefield victories, we turn to another leader who rose in the heart of Rome, Julius Caesar. Born in 100 BC, Caesar was not just a military genius, he was a master politician. In a time when Rome was ruled by senators and fractured by civil wars, Caesar carved a path to supreme power. He conquered Gaul, crossing rivers and mountains thought impossible. But his greatest victory was not military. It was his ability to transform Rome from a crumbling republic into a centralized power. Yet ambition is dangerous. His famous crossing of the Rubicon declared openly, there was no turning back. Loved by the people but feared by the Senate, Caesar's rule ended in betrayal, assassinated by men he once called allies. But his death did not end his legacy. Instead, it set Rome on the path to empire, forever reshaping the ancient world. As Rome rose in the east, another kind of conqueror emerged, not one with armies, but with wisdom. Confucius, born in 551 BC in China, never commanded soldiers, never held vast lands, yet his influence would outlast kings and emperors. He believed that a good society began with good character. Respect, duty, and morality were his weapons. He walked from kingdom to kingdom, teaching rulers that leadership meant responsibility, not privilege. At first, many dismissed him. But over centuries, his teachings became the backbone of Chinese culture, shaping families, governments, and entire nations. Even today, more than 2,000 years later, Confucius's ideas on respect, harmony, and duty echo in the hearts of billions. But philosophy was not confined to the East. In Athens, Greece, a man named Socrates changed the way the world thought about knowledge. Born around 470 BC, Socrates did not write books, nor leave behind grand temples. Instead, he asked questions so powerful that they forced people to think for themselves. He taught that true wisdom was knowing how little you truly know. For this, he became both loved and hated. In a city that valued democracy yet feared criticism, Socrates was accused of corrupting the youth and sentenced to death. Offered a chance to flee, he refused. Instead, he drank the cup of poison and chose to die with his principles intact. His courage to question authority gave birth to Western philosophy, influencing Plato, Aristotle, and every generation that followed. While philosophers shaped thought, kings shaped law. Long before Socrates and Confucius, there was Hammurabi, the Babylonian king who reigned nearly 4,000 years ago, around 1810 to 1750 BC. His empire stretched across Mesopotamia, but his greatest achievement was not land, it was justice. Hammurabi created one of the world's first written codes of law. Engraved on stone pillars, his code declared rules for trade, family, crime, and punishment. For the first time, laws were no longer left to the whims of kings or judges. They were written for all to see. An eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. came from his vision of fairness. Though strict, his code was revolutionary, laying the groundwork for legal systems that still guide societies today. And finally, in the golden sands of Egypt, we meet a queen whose charm and intelligence became legendary, Cleopatra VII. Born in 69 BC, Cleopatra was more than a ruler. She was a strategist, a diplomat, and a survivor in a world dominated by men. Fluent in many languages, she ruled Egypt not through force but through wit. She forged alliances with Rome's most powerful men, Julius Caesar and later Mark Antony, ensuring Egypt's independence in a time when nations were swallowed by Rome. To her people, she was not only a queen, but a symbol of pride. To history, she became an icon of power and intrigue. Her death marked the end of Egypt's pharaohs, but her name remains one of the most famous in the ancient world. These six figures, Alexander, Caesar, Confucius, Socrates, Hammurabi, and Cleopatra, stand as monuments of the ancient era. Warriors, philosophers, lawmakers, and rulers. They remind us that success is not measured in years lived, but in legacies left behind. From battlefields to classrooms, from stone-carved laws to timeless wisdom, they shape the foundations of human civilization, and their stories set the stage for the eras yet to come. As the ancient world gave way to the passing centuries, civilizations rose and fell, and the torch of greatness was carried into a new age, the medieval era. This was a time of empires and kingdoms, of faith and conquest, of heroes who carved their names not only on the battlefield, but in the hearts of their people. From the vast steppes of Mongolia to the deserts of Africa, from the castles of Europe to the holy lands of Jerusalem, greatness once again revealed itself in extraordinary men and women. One of the most feared and admired figures of this era was Genghis Khan. Born in 1162 among the harsh plains of Mongolia, his early life was marked by struggle and survival. Orphaned and betrayed, he grew up in a world where only strength and loyalty kept one alive. But through resilience and vision, he united the scattered nomadic tribes who had long fought each other. Under his command, they became one unstoppable force. Genghis Khan's empire would stretch farther than any before it, from the edges of China to the gates of Europe, the largest land empire in history. He was not only a conqueror, but also a lawgiver, establishing systems of merit, communication, and trade across his vast realm. To this day, his legacy is both feared and respected, a reminder that even from the harshest beginnings, one man can shape the destiny of nations. From the steppes of Mongolia, we turn to the golden sands of West Africa, where another kind of greatness shone, the wealth of Mansa Musa, Emperor of Mali. Born around 1280, Musa became ruler of an empire rich in gold, salt, and trade. His name became legendary when he embarked on a pilgrimage to Mecca in 1324, leading tens of thousands of followers and carrying so much gold that it changed economies along his route. But his greatness was not just in wealth. Mansa Musa built mosques, schools, and libraries, making Timbuktu a center of learning and culture that attracted scholars from across the world. He showed that leadership was not only about conquest, but about lifting up knowledge and faith, leaving behind prosperity for generations. Meanwhile, in Europe, power and faith took another form in the reign of Charlemagne, born in 742. Known as Charles the Great, he united much of Western Europe under his rule, reviving the idea of empire after the fall of Rome. He was more than a warrior king. He valued learning and culture, establishing schools and encouraging education. Crowned emperor by the Pope in the year 800, Charlemagne's rule marked the beginning of what would later be known as the Holy Roman Empire. His dream was not just to expand borders, but to bring order, knowledge, and stability to a fractured continent. He became the father of Europe. Yet the medieval era was also marked by fierce conflicts over faith and holy lands. Out of these struggles rose Saladin, born in 1137, a leader whose name still carries honor across the Middle East and beyond. Saladin united Muslim lands at a time of division and stood as the defender of Jerusalem during the Crusades. But what made him remarkable was not only his victories, but his mercy. After retaking Jerusalem in 1187, instead of slaughtering its people, he allowed them to live, showing compassion in an age often defined by brutality. His combination of strength and humanity made him respected not only by his followers, but even by his enemies. In him, the medieval world saw a leader who understood that true greatness lies in both courage and honor. And in France, the story of the medieval era takes an unexpected turn with a figure unlike the kings and emperors, a young woman named Joan of Arc. Born in 1412 to a humble family, she claimed to hear voices from God, guiding her to save France from English domination during the Hundred Years' War. At only 17 years old, she led armies into battle, dressed in armor, carrying the banner of faith and courage. Inspired by her vision and determination, the French rallied, turning the tide of war. Yet Joan's bravery brought her into conflict with the powers of her time. Captured, accused of heresy, and condemned, she was burned at the stake at just 19. But though her life was short, her spirit proved immortal. Centuries later, she was declared a saint, a symbol of courage, faith, and the power of believing in a calling greater than oneself. These 5 figures, Genghis Khan, Mansa Musa, Charlemagne, Saladin, and Joan of Arc, carried the torch of greatness through the medieval era. Some ruled with armies, others with wealth, others with faith, but all of them left legacies that continue to inspire. From the steppes to the deserts, from the castles to the battlefields, their stories remind us that success in history takes many forms: conquest, wisdom, mercy, vision, and courage. And so, as the medieval world faded into the dawn of a new age, the Renaissance, humanity stood ready for another wave of extraordinary leaders and thinkers who would redefine what it meant to be great. As the Middle Ages gave way to light and discovery, humanity entered a new dawn, the Renaissance and early modern era. It was an age of rebirth, where creativity, science, exploration, and daring thought flourished. The world seemed to expand, not only through voyages across oceans, but through the very boundaries of human imagination. From artists who redefined beauty, to scientists who challenged the heavens, to explorers who bridged continents, this era gave us some of the most extraordinary figures in history. Among them was Leonardo da Vinci, born in 1452, a man whose genius could not be confined to a single field. Painter, engineer, inventor, scientist, Leonardo embodied the Renaissance spirit. His paintings, such as the Mona Lisa and the Last Supper, remain unmatched in beauty and depth. Yet beyond art, he sketched flying machines centuries before flight, studied anatomy with detail beyond his time, and filled notebooks with visions of the future. To many, he was not just an artist, but a window into human potential. Proof that curiosity and imagination can make one man feel like an entire universe. Close beside him in greatness was Michelangelo, born in 1475. If Leonardo's genius was wide, Michelangelo's was towering in mastery. His sculptures, the David and the Pietà, looked as if marble itself had come to life. His paintings on the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel turned art into an experience of heaven itself. Michelangelo once said he saw the figure trapped in the stone, and his work was to set it free. His dedication, even in suffering and exhaustion, redefined art as an expression of divine power and human struggle. Together, Leonardo and Michelangelo became twin giants of the Renaissance, their names forever tied to the rebirth of culture. But the Renaissance was not only about art, it was also about expanding the boundaries of the known world. Christopher Columbus, born in 1451, dared to sail westward into the unknown, seeking a new route to Asia. In 1492, his voyage across the Atlantic brought Europe into direct contact with the Americas. His journey opened the age of exploration, reshaping trade, culture, and history. While his legacy is debated, bringing both connection and conquest, there is no denying that Columbus changed the map of the world forever. His courage to risk everything on the open sea marked a turning point in human destiny. As explorers expanded geography, thinkers expanded politics. Niccolò Machiavelli, born in 1469 in Florence, studied power not through ideals, but through reality. In his work, The Prince, he argued that rulers must sometimes act not with morality, but with practicality if they wish to survive and thrive. His ideas were controversial, often criticized as ruthless, yet they shaped the philosophy of leadership for centuries. To this day, the word Machiavellian still describes the art of strategy and cunning in power. Machiavelli's sharp realism gave rulers a manual for survival in a dangerous world. But perhaps no figure of this era shook the world more than Galileo Galilei, born in 1564. Known as the father of modern science, Galileo looked to the heavens and dared to question what the Church declared absolute. With his telescope, he saw moons orbiting Jupiter, proving that not everything revolved around the Earth. He challenged ancient beliefs, declaring that the Earth moved around the sun. For this, he faced trial, condemned to silence. Yet his discoveries laid the foundation for modern astronomy and the scientific method itself. Galileo's courage to seek truth, even against powerful opposition, became a symbol of intellectual freedom. From Galileo's discoveries came another giant, Isaac Newton, born in 1643. In a time when the world sought order, Newton revealed the laws that governed the universe itself. His work on gravity and motion explained the movement of planets and the fall of an apple alike. With mathematics, he gave humanity a language to understand the cosmos. Newton's Principia Mathematica became one of the most important books ever written, marking the birth of modern physics. Where others asked questions, Newton gave answers that defined science for centuries. Yet while science and exploration flourished, words too found immortality. William Shakespeare, born in 1564, became the voice of human emotion and imagination. His plays, Romeo and Juliet, Hamlet, Macbeth, and many more, captured love, ambition, betrayal, and tragedy with a depth never before seen. His stories crossed borders, transcended time, and spoke to every class of society. More than 400 years later, his words are still performed, studied, and quoted across the world. Shakespeare proved that success is not only in empires or discoveries, but in the power of storytelling to capture the human soul. This was the Renaissance and early modern world, an age of brilliance and daring. Leonardo and Michelangelo redefined beauty. Columbus expanded horizons. Machiavelli reshaped politics. Galileo and Newton unlocked the secrets of the universe. Shakespeare gave words eternal life. Together they remind us that human greatness does not belong to one field alone, but emerges when art, science, exploration, and imagination rise together. As this age drew to a close, the world was forever changed. And standing at the edge of the modern era, humanity prepared to enter a time of revolutions, of industry, liberty, and progress, where greatness would once again take new forms. As the world moved out of the Renaissance and early modern era, humanity stepped into a time of profound change, the 18th and 19th centuries. This was the age of revolutions, when nations rose from colonies, when empires were challenged, when science and invention accelerated faster than ever before. It was a time when leaders, thinkers, and pioneers reshaped society, forever altering the course of history. We begin with George Washington, born in 1732. Once a British subject, Washington became the face of independence in the American colonies. A general with calm determination, he led ragged troops through the Revolutionary War, outlasting one of the most powerful empires on earth. But Washington's true greatness lay not only in victory, but in restraint. When offered kingship, he refused. When given power, he stepped aside. As the first president of the United States, he set the example of leadership through humility, creating a republic that would inspire nations across the globe. From across the ocean rose another figure whose path was entirely different: Napoleon Bonaparte. Born in 1769 on the island of Corsica, Napoleon rose from obscurity to become one of history's greatest military minds. Through brilliance in strategy and unyielding ambition, he crowned himself Emperor of France and reshaped Europe through conquest. His victories spread new laws, education systems, and reforms, But his thirst for power eventually led to downfall. Exiled on a remote island, Napoleon's story is a reminder that greatness can shine bright, but ambition unchecked can consume even the mightiest. In the United States, during the next century, came a leader who stood tall in the darkest time of his nation, Abraham Lincoln. Born in 1809 in a humble log cabin, Lincoln rose through determination, self-education, and deep moral conviction. As president, he guided America through its greatest crisis, the Civil War. At stake was not only the survival of the Union, but the freedom of millions enslaved. With steady resolve, Lincoln issued the Emancipation Proclamation, setting in motion the end of slavery. His words, "a new birth of freedom," still echo as a promise of justice. Though his life was cut short by assassination, Lincoln's legacy endures as one of compassion, unity, and unshakable courage. While Lincoln fought for liberty, another thinker was reshaping the very way society viewed power itself. Karl Marx, born in 1818, became one of the most influential philosophers of modern times. His works, especially the Communist Manifesto, challenged the inequalities of industrial capitalism and inspired movements that would transform politics worldwide. Whether embraced or rejected, Marx's ideas forced the world to question economic systems, class struggle, and the meaning of justice in society. His vision remains one of the most debated legacies of the modern age. At the same time, science was challenging the very foundations of human belief. Charles Darwin, born in 1809, sailed on the HMS Beagle and observed life across the globe. His theory of evolution by natural selection, published in On the Origin of Species, shocked the world. For centuries, humanity believed species were fixed and unchanging. Darwin showed they were not. His work placed humanity within the great web of life, not above it, and redefined biology forever. Though controversial, his discoveries reshaped science and our understanding of existence. The 19th century also belonged to the dreamers who turned ideas into inventions. Thomas Edison, born in 1847, became the symbol of practical genius. His relentless experiments gave the world the phonograph, the motion picture camera, and most famously, the electric light bulb. Edison built not just devices, but industries, creating systems that powered cities and transformed daily life. He showed the power of persistence, famously saying he did not fail, but found thousands of ways that did not work until one did. Yet standing in Edison's shadow was another man, often misunderstood but ahead of his time, Nikola Tesla. Born in 1856, Tesla dreamed not of candles or short-lived inventions, but of limitless energy. He pioneered alternating current, making electricity practical for the world. He envisioned wireless communication, power transmission, and inventions so advanced they seemed like science fiction. Though he struggled with recognition and wealth during his lifetime, today Tesla is celebrated as the visionary who saw the future before anyone else could. But not all greatness was measured in battlefields, books, or machines. Sometimes it was found in compassion. Florence Nightingale, born in 1820, chose to walk a path few women dared. During the Crimean War, she revolutionized the care of the wounded, bringing hygiene, organization, and humanity to overcrowded hospitals. Known as the Lady with the Lamp, she walked the wards at night, bringing comfort and hope. Her reforms founded the principles of modern nursing, saving countless lives and giving dignity to those who suffered. Nightingale's legacy was proof that true greatness lies not only in power, but in service. This was the 18th and 19th century. Washington, who built a nation on freedom. Napoleon, who reshaped Europe through ambition. Lincoln, who preserved a union and ended slavery. Marx, who challenged society's structures. Darwin, who rewrote humanity's place in nature. Edison and Tesla, who electrified the world. And Florence Nightingale, who gave healing a new name. Each, in their own way, reshaped humanity's journey, bringing us closer to the modern age we know today. And as the 19th century gave way to the 20th, the world was preparing for a new era of conflict, innovation, and leadership. An age where global wars, civil rights, technology, and visionaries would once again define greatness. As the world entered the 20th century, humanity faced challenges unlike any before: two world wars, colonial struggles, and rapid technological change. Yet from this era of turmoil and opportunity, remarkable individuals emerged, people whose courage, creativity, and vision reshaped nations, culture, and even the way we see the universe itself. At the heart of scientific discovery stood Albert Einstein, born in 1879 in Germany. With his wild hair and brilliant mind, Einstein questioned assumptions that had stood for centuries. His theory of relativity revealed that time and space were not absolute, but flexible, forever changing the way we understand the universe. Beyond equations and papers, Einstein symbolized curiosity, imagination, and courage to challenge the accepted. His discoveries not only transformed physics, but also inspired generations of thinkers to dream beyond the visible horizon. While Einstein transformed science, another man transformed nations: Mahatma Gandhi, born in 1869 in India. Gandhi taught that the most powerful weapon is not the sword, but the spirit. Through peaceful protest and unwavering determination, he led millions in the struggle for Indian independence from British rule. Marching with salt in hand, spinning his own cloth, and facing imprisonment without anger, Gandhi showed the world that courage and morality could confront empires. His philosophy of nonviolence continues to inspire movements for justice across the globe. As Gandhi inspired through peace, another leader inspired through resilience in war. Winston Churchill, born in 1874, guided Britain through the darkest days of World War II. When the bombs rained on London and the threat of defeat loomed, Churchill's voice, full of defiance and determination, rallied a nation. His speeches reminded the world that courage is contagious and that leadership in crisis is not about comfort, but conviction. Churchill's unwavering spirit helped shape the outcome of a war that defined the century. Meanwhile, in the United States, the struggle for equality gained a powerful voice in Martin Luther King Jr., born in 1929. Inspired by Gandhi's philosophy of nonviolence, King led a movement to end racial segregation, challenging laws through marches, speeches, and moral courage. His iconic words, "I have a dream," resonated across generations, showing that justice could be achieved through peace, dignity, and persistence. King's life was tragically cut short, yet his vision endures, guiding humanity toward equality and fairness. On the African continent, a similar struggle for freedom took shape in Nelson Mandela, born in 1918. Imprisoned for 27 years for opposing apartheid, Mandela emerged not with vengeance, but with reconciliation. He became South Africa's first black president, proving that leadership grounded in forgiveness can heal nations. Mandela's life was a testament to patience, resilience, and the power of vision guided by humanity rather than hatred. While some changed nations and laws, others transformed culture and imagination. Walt Disney, born in 1901, gave the world stories that sparked wonder. From animated films to theme parks, Disney built an empire of creativity, showing that imagination could inspire millions. Mickey Mouse, Cinderella, and countless other characters became icons, proving that art, when paired with vision and perseverance, can leave an indelible mark on global culture. In the world of technology, few have left a mark like Steve Jobs, born in 1955. With Apple, Jobs revolutionized personal technology, making computers, smartphones, and tablets not only functional, but beautiful, intuitive, and essential. His relentless pursuit of perfection, combined with the ability to see what the world would need before it knew it, turned ideas into products that reshaped daily life. Jobs taught us that innovation requires not just skill, but vision, courage, and the audacity to think differently. And then there was a man who transcended sport, becoming a symbol of courage, conviction, and personality: Muhammad Ali, born in 1942. More than a boxer, Ali fought for civil rights, stood up to injustice, and captivated the world with his confidence and charm. His fights were battles of skill and will, but outside the ring, he became a voice for equality and humanity. Ali reminded the world that greatness is not only measured in victories, but in the courage to live boldly, speak truth, and inspire millions. The 20th century was a stage for extraordinary visionaries. Einstein expanded our understanding of the cosmos. Gandhi and King reshaped morality and justice. Churchill and Mandela steered nations through crises and reconciliation. Disney and Jobs transformed culture and technology. And Muhammad Ali proved that courage, conviction, and charisma can change hearts as well as history. Together, they defined a century of struggle, discovery, creativity, and enduring inspiration. As the century closed, the world stood on the brink of a new era, a time of globalization, digital revolutions, and unprecedented opportunities, ready for the next wave of innovators, leaders, and dreamers who would shape the 21st century. As the world entered the 21st century, humanity faced a new kind of frontier. Technology, globalization, and social change accelerated faster than ever before. In this era, individuals emerged who not only mastered business and innovation, but also used their influence to inspire millions, shaping the future in unprecedented ways. At the forefront of technological revolution is Elon Musk, born in 1971. Musk is a visionary who turned ideas once considered impossible into reality. From electric cars with Tesla to reusable rockets with SpaceX, he is redefining energy, transportation, and space exploration. Musk's relentless drive and willingness to take risks remind us that the future belongs to those who dare to dream big and act boldly. He shows that innovation is not just about invention, but about transforming the very way humanity lives and reaches beyond our planet. While Musk is conquering space, Jeff Bezos, born in 1964, transformed life here on Earth. Founder of Amazon, Bezos redefined commerce, creating a global marketplace that reaches millions of people daily. His focus on efficiency, customer experience, and long-term vision turned a small online bookstore into one of the most powerful companies in the world. Bezos' story is a testament to ambition, innovation, and the power of persistence in the digital age. Communication and connection also reached new heights thanks to Mark Zuckerberg, born in 1984. With the creation of Facebook, Zuckerberg reshaped the way billions of people interact, share ideas, and build communities. While social media brings challenges, it also demonstrates the power of technology to connect humanity on a scale never seen before. Zuckerberg's work reminds us that the digital era is defined by those who understand both the world of today and the possibilities of tomorrow. Influence is not just in technology and business. Oprah Winfrey, born in 1954, became one of the most influential women alive through media, empathy, and storytelling. From television to philanthropy, Oprah has empowered millions to believe in themselves, pursue knowledge, and overcome adversity. Her life is a testament to resilience, vision, and the ability to turn personal struggle into a force that uplifts the world. In sports, greatness is measured in perseverance, talent, and dominance. Serena Williams, born in 1981, redefined women's tennis, winning countless Grand Slam titles and inspiring generations. Her combination of skill, focus, and determination turned her into a global icon, showing that discipline and passion can break barriers, on and off the court. Serena's legacy reminds us that excellence is achieved through hard work, consistency, and unshakable self-belief. And finally, the 21st century has also been defined by courage in the face of oppression. Malala Yousafzai, born in 1997, became a symbol of hope and education. Surviving an attack on her life for advocating girls' education in Pakistan, she emerged stronger, winning the Nobel Peace Prize and speaking to the world about the power of knowledge and resilience. Malala proves that one voice, driven by courage and purpose, can change the course of millions of lives. These modern figures, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg, Oprah Winfrey, Serena Williams, and Malala Yousafzai, show that greatness in the 21st century comes in many forms: vision, courage, talent, influence, and the drive to improve the world. Their stories continue the long line of humanity's most successful and inspiring people, connecting centuries of achievement from Alexander the Great to the leaders and innovators of today. If you've enjoyed this journey through history, seeing the lives of those who shaped the world from ancient empires to modern innovation, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more stories of success, inspiration, and the people who keep pushing humanity forward. Hit the bell icon so you never miss a new video, and join the community of dreamers and doers chasing greatness every day.